We've finally got our almonds in the shed, got the harvest out the way. On to the next project, down to the southeast to pick up some new extracting equipment. Well, new to me, not so new to the bloke who's selling it. But anyway, hopefully we'll be a bit of an upgrade and you can come along for the journey and see how we turn out. The things that we do, I tell you what, I don't know. This here trying to make an extraction area is getting more and more complicated by the minute. But anyway, Kerry's got it worked out. He's a good truck driver. He's looked at me with a little bit of a wonky eye and go, what the fuck are you thinking? But anyway, I believe he can do it. We're all going to find out in a minute. So that's a big cupboard. We had to put some trinkets in that. Jesus. We'll just go to the light foliage. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Tell me if it's all right. Some way to prune the trees. Holy shit balls. You might want to move your car, John. Well, I just noticed that this container's a bit higher than the other container, so I'm thinking I better make some adjustments, just some slight adjustments. Oh, bloody hell. There's always something. This is my very daddy ass roof that I put on this other one. Tell him not to kill me. Oh, backwards, you crazy drill. Oh, God. Just a few running repairs. Fucking hell. Just thought I'd get out the saw. There's a little bit of a trim. Up you go. There you know. And that one back there, I reckon. And the other ones will probably be all right. We'll have to push it in there somehow. Or should I trim all of them off? Put your safety glasses on. Just hang on a minute. Up. I'm just doing a little bit of trimming, so don't crush me just yet. He just said hurry up or I'll run you over. That's a bit rough. He said he put his beer in the esky on the way before he got here. That was a bad idea, turning around like that. Oh, gee, cricket. Talk about being organised. Take pity on me out there in internet land. That's pretty clever. Well, I'm at the pointy end of the project now. A bloke has to figure out how to fit the shit in here, so I've got it looking tassie. The other day I was over at the hardware shop when the wife was buying some pot plants, as they do. I don't know how they need so many pot plants, God bless me, but anyway. Some of them, of course, are bee-friendly plants, so it's all good, but anyway, some of them aren't, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm there in the shop, wandering around like a bored husband does in a shop when you've done your shopping, and I found this cool bloody extension cord and it had a double end. And I thought, how wicked's that? That's going to be ideal. So I'll be able to have one extractor here and maybe my other extractor over there if it fits. And then the tub there and the uncappery machine in a minute. And of course now, everybody out there, when you read bloody extraction plants, it always says you should make them twice as big as you actually think you're going to need them, and that's probably quite true. But I have a container, I have some power in the container, I have some opportunities to utilise what's here at the minute, so you never know, if I get really big and really enthusiastic, you might be able to make a bid for the Bush Bee Man's honey extraction plant that ended up too small. Hopefully one day it will be too small, but just for right now, it is what it is, so I have to either find a decent stick to do some measuring or a tape measure. Tape measure is probably more acceptable, but hell, if I can't find one of them, I'll just get a stick that's the right length, because that can work too. Anyway, I was just thinking in there, as I'm wandering around in my little cave, we're getting along there a little bit. We started off, we had the bloody little Nissan as the honey warming spot. We started in the open shed and the poor wife got covered in bees and shit everywhere. That was a bad option. Then I got all excited and bought that little tent to put the honey extraction plant in to keep everybody out. That actually worked quite good. And then, so it's a progression. It's just a little bit at a time. Just everybody's coming along for the ride. At least I've never been in the wife's laundry, so you know. If you're starting out in beekeeping, don't put the extractor in the laundry because it's a bad option. Apparently it's very divorce material, but I haven't done that. She still loves me, so it's all good. Let's see if we can find a tape measure and put the gear in here. I got to hang up my last cord though while you're watching. I've got this little cord for the new uncapper machine, maybe. Well, new to me. So I figure I'll just put a couple of links in, but I don't actually know. I think it's going to end up about here somewhere. Got the cool little cable clips. Now they only come with nails here in Oz, which are a pain in the arse, and I thought this is a kind of a foam hard surface. So I bought some little baby screws that would screw through the mount to screw into the side of the wall, because the nails are crap. They don't actually work unless it's wood, which I'm guessing what you're meant to have it is on wood, but anyway. But the downside to that is my little driver that goes in my little bloody battery drill is too big to fit in there, and I can't be stuffed driving to the shop to get another one because it's like backwards and forwards to the hardware store. I feel like, what's that bloody thing that just giddy out, the shirt hanging out? Anyway, I don't know what that makes any sense about going to the hardware shop, but anyway, I'm sick of driving there, so I do own a battery drill and all the rest of it, but I'm here with a screwdriver, so I'm very primitive at the minute, but don't hold that against me, okay? Oh man. So of course, being that I've got to do this manually, I've got to use a little screw hole. I have a little baby drill that I would normally use in here, but the bloody screws are so small. I tried to put that in the drill and the teeth of the drill wouldn't even close up, so the poor old bloody drill's that crap that it's got too many lumps there, so. Anyway. Never allow to be beaten. That's the attitude when you're here in the Bush Bee Company. You just fucking keep going, because what the hell? Nobody's going to save me, even from myself. I'm sure someone will be able to tell me how I should have done this easy, but still. Oh, there was some comment made by the young man who comes around and films me and puts me out there in the world for all you to have a laugh and have a watch. He said, couldn't you have got a power cord that was actually a good colour? Why does it have to be red? The reason it had to be red, because the only red cord had the double end, hence why I showed you the double end to explain why it's red. If he doesn't like the red, he can always come here with some bloody white paint, can't he, and make it look right. But I tell you, there's always someone that's got to have a critical review. I kind of thought the red looked cool. It's almost Christmassy. But you won't. Talking about that, maybe I could have a red and a green cord, and then we'd have candy cane cords.
Candy canes are red and white.
Okay, I've been corrected yet again. Maybe that's why it reminds me of candy cane, because the backing is white and the cord is red. We could have the candy cane extraction plant. It's better than candy cane because that crap's made out of sugar. This stuff's making out of honey. So, whoo, we got natural shit going on here. Although it's a bit scary. I think I will be on this internet forever if I'm not careful. I guess when I'm dead and the great-grandchildren want to know what their great-granddad was like, they'll be able to watch me, won't they? And then, I don't know whether that's a good or bad thought. Hang on a minute, that's a terrible thought just right now in my head. Hell. That would be bad in the schoolyard. Poor little Penelope. We're going, I don't know who that bloke is. I've never seen him before in my life. Okay. There was a time when a bloke wouldn't even bother about this crap. We would just run it on the ground, but I kind of figured when I try to clean it up, it'll be a pain in the arse. When I'm trying to hose the room out, I thought, well, I won't really want the power cords on the ground, will I? And being a real bloody enthusiastic individual, I doubt very much that I'd roll the power cord up and take it out. You want to have a go? I'll film you. You wouldn't think you'd have to play the diddle music just to put up a power cord, would you? I mean, it's ridiculous. God. The upside to having a big, strong man helping me film all this madness, I get to indulge and use his muscles, so I'm just trying to figure out how to get the thing in here, and he said he could pick it up, throw it up over his shoulders and whip it in here like you wouldn't believe. But then he said, nah, he didn't want to show me up, so he wants me to help him. But, you know, I don't know, I'll just take one for the team. Well, I figure we might have to move some of my shrapnel from the other projects that are going on at the minute, so make life a little bit easier. So I think this bloody thing's a little bit too heavy just to pick up and carry. I was just kind of thinking maybe we could go to the gym for a year and get really seriously strong power lifters going on, and then we could just woof, but we kind of need it to happen right now. Well, I thought I had the fittings for the new uncapper thing to hook to the hose on the new hot water thing. Oh, there it is. I found them. It's all good. Moving right along. Nobody panic. Being that this is the most complicated bit, we'll have to put this in first. I wonder if we want to... I mean, I've got to be able to get around the back of it. I'll allow for the fact that I'm probably going to get fatter, not skinnier. I'll leave it back there a little bit because I reckon going on my track record, I think my belly's getting bigger, not smaller. So I think before we bolt anything down, we'll get the other little uncapper pot. Because my plan is the frames are going to come in here full of honey, go through the uncapper, go into our little container bit, go through the extractor. And obviously in the short term, we're just going to have buckets. But I did find a honey pump, although it hasn't got a motor, it's just got the pump. So I don't know. And I'm not really sure whether you have to actually warm honey up to go through a honey pump or not. I haven't really researched that. But anyway, that came along for the journey. So we'll figure that out going forward. But we'll get the other little thing put here. Have to have enough room to be able to take the frames out of that pot into this pot. And then I figure the empty frames can slide back out that way. That should work. I reckon then the empty frames out there, whoosh, back to where they came from. Except they'll be empty. And then hopefully the one next door that the wife's taken over at the moment can become the place where the honey can settle in the drum. So that's the plan at this moment in time, but who knows. I've come up with a fairly cool idea of how to hook it to my floor. I'm going to cut some of this flat metal and then it will make so I'll be able to put in these little ribbon grooves. And my idea is it will create its own little clamp and all the stuff will be hooked down because I used some bloody tech screws originally. And of course, they're not actually designed to hold machinery to the ground, they just fly to bits. So hopefully we won't have that situation where the bloody honey extractor was dancing across our floor on the pallet not so long ago. That was rather fun, but we're moving forward, upwards and onwards. Here we go. Staying with tradition, I've got my top quality workbench that I'm working on. Golly gosh. One day if I ever make enough money I'll have a proper workshop, but that's probably not going to happen. On the old farm I had a bit of a workshop. So I figured out it's got to be about 45 mils or 4.5 centimetres, or I'm not sure what it would be in the other feet and inches thing because that hasn't got it on this particular. Oh, hang on. It could be about 1 3/4 inches if you're into inches as well. So these are going to be the little lugs that go underneath the floor, and I figure if we get there and we do a little scratch so we know where we're up to. This is the moment when you cut your tape measure in half, because I've done that before. It's a little bit dodgy ass the way to go about it, but anyway, it works. You've got to keep your knees apart, otherwise your balls get hot from all them sparks. I might put those glasses back in the ute because the other safety glasses that I really should be using I can't find, so they'll turn up later next week sometime when I don't need them. Now for some reason the holes in the front are in the right spot but the holes in the back are in the wrong spot, so I have to actually tip it over and drill some holes through it. So I'm just going to mark off where I think it should be, and I'm going to get maybe Mr. Muscle, so I could just tip it over myself. tip it over on its side, because otherwise if you try to drill down here on an angle through the H-joint, because the H-joint at the top and the angle, bloody hell. If I haven't snapped 100 drills doing that, I'll be eating my hat. See, I've already eaten my hat, I haven't even got one on. Oh, golly gosh. Don't just tip it over and let it go bang. That's a bad option. Oh, help. Neck. Blue, me neck, Carrie. Yeah, they're high-tech. We'll drill a hole about there, I reckon. How clever is that? I was just looking at how they made the brake. Look, they've got a bit of old crappy belt on the second pulley. So when you put your foot on the brake here, it just pulls the belt flat against the half of the pulley. You know, I just love practical shit like that. It's silly, isn't it? Like, you just think now some bloke sat there and figured out, like, rather than getting all expensive and having a jolly, you know, a braking system that was all fancy ass, I'll just get a bit of shit belt that I wrecked last time when I was getting on and hook it to that. Oh, I don't know. You see, I'm not the only ruffian out there. Well, that's not rough. It's actually quite good, but... Well... Oh, bloody hell. What did they do before drills, I wonder? I don't know. What did we do before metal, more to the point? Why would the beekeepers had it on an old paddle wheel with a wooden thing? Would they have been doing it in a wooden with a bit of wood as a bearing? Nah, they probably had it in a bloody tub and they'd stomped on it. How many years have we been doing that? Because that was I know the answer to my own question, because that's like about 1,000 years ago, isn't it? When the Bronze Age died in the arse and the Metal Age started? Is that kind of what it was? I think that's how roughly around about there. This is not a history program, but if you want to know about history, we've got a program that talks about history. That's over on the True Rhyme Show, or it might be a link in the bottom here somewhere you could sneak across there, and that's the untold history though, so, you know, that's the history that they didn't want you to know. So if you want to know, get over there, check that shit out. Oh, God. Who needs to go to the gym? Hopefully I've got the bloody holes right, otherwise that'll suck, won't it? Probably go back a fraction more, but it doesn't hurt to have a bit of room to move around and clean shit. Then you'll be able to hose back here a bit easier. Get underneath there with a whoosher, with a machine. I bought a whoosher machine, a pressure cleaner that is. Well, it's a proper bee cleaner, I don't know, anyway, Mr. Spitwater made this cool bloody bee machine. He called it the bee machine, because it actually makes the hot water that you want to run through your uncapper. And actually, if you want to warm up this on a shitty ass cold day, and I'm thinking I might even get really motivated and make like a heated floor for the honey to sit on to warm up before I do it. But I don't know, I haven't got that far yet. One thing at a time. It's just this big bucket. You just keep kicking $50 notes in it, this beekeeping gig. Not that it's very exciting, but I've already pre-drilled my holes in my little bits of flat steel. The lad was happily making us some spring rolls, and so I thought, well, I had 5 minutes to spare. It's magic. You didn't even have to go. It just sort of happened. Anyway, they didn't come hole drilled. Hopefully, we'll be somewhere near it. Now, my plan is, because of the way this floor is designed, I thought that was pretty cool. My plan is that I'm just going to be able to get my bit of flat steel and slip it in the hole. If I'm lucky. Maybe I can't now. What the fuck am I doing? Put that up there so I've got more fingers. That's more awkward than you think. See what happens when the camera's here? I've got to go and get a pair of pliers. Bloody hell. They just slipped in there while you weren't watching. Don't make me look any more stupid than I normally do. It's not fair. Come on, you're nearly out there. Nearly there. Nearly. You can do it. Just got to poke yourself up just a little bit. By hell. Damn it! Just wait there. Just one time it could go to plan, couldn't it? So I don't look like a complete goose. Bloody hell. You can do it. Oh, Lord. Yay, one down. No, it wasn't even down. It worked very well with my imagination. I'll give you that for free. Come on, you go. Yay, look at that! Woo! Just one time, honestly. Oh, that feels nice and tight. We'll do the other one over there. Oh, this is not a floor to kneel on, let me tell you that for free. Shall we see if it works? I'll be fairly confident that that'll take the bits off your legs. Oh my lord. If that didn't shred yourself, it will. Like that. I think I might have to get some new hinges because they look a bit dodgy ass. Screw that to that. Give that bit of old metal a paint job. Get the stand for the uncapper. Put our little funny little pot. That'd shock everybody, wouldn't it? I've even got a vice. It's not a very good vice because it won't let go by itself quite as nice as you'd like. But if you've ever tried to drill little pieces of steel like that and hold them down, they're near on impossible. And they'll take your finger off because they'll start spinning at the last bit. The plan is to have the honey sitting here, obviously in their supers and the honey's frames full of honey. And then you're going to take them out of there. Hopefully they'll be a little bit warm. So you're going to pop your full frame of honey on the ledge here. And then when you push the go button, feeds the honey down, feeds the frame down through here. And these little cutting blades are going to take your caps off. Push them through there, so that'll take all the caps off. You run a bit of warm water through there so it cuts a bit easier. And then you just keep feeding them in. There's a little bar here that pushes the frames down, which is quite cool. And stops the next one getting munched. Obviously it's a bit wompy-donk when it's not got any honey in there to slow it down. So now we've got our uncapped frames that are going to, hopefully, if I'm really lucky, they'll slide all the way along this bin, so that should fill all that up. I have to keep an eye on it because you won't be able to feed any more and then they can fit down here, otherwise I'm sure there'll be much munching going on. That'll be exciting. Then of course from there into the extractor. When I fix my doors up. So we just got to pop them in the extractor. Extractor. At least these have got frames, these ones. And then obviously fill all that up. Kick that into the guts and then whoo, and then there should be honey and stuff going everywhere. Oh, look out. Spring, here we come. Now all I've got to do is give it all a bit of a hose down with some hot water. Maybe handing up my cobbles a little bit neater, that would be good. Get the hot water sort of sorted out so as I can get that blooming uncapper's blades a bit warm so it'll cut through the caps a bit better. And then next time you come back, you might be able to see this thing working. Either that or there's this big cloud of smoke here because I've set it on fire. Oh, we got this is going to be this room here is eventually going to be my settling room. But the lovely wife said, hey, that could be really cool for the short term. She's turned it into the bottling plant. Anyway, the wife thought this looked like a good idea, so she's come out here and got organised. Got a few pots of honey in here. Smells sweet in there. Woohoo! Pity we haven't got smell-o-vision to be able to smell how yummy the honey smells. At the minute, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the last stage before it gets in the mailbag to you. So, don't forget to keep my wife busy. Send in them orders, because she loves it. Oh, golly gosh, it's a long blooming process. We've been at this for a few months now. I'm obviously going to put a nice floor here not too far away. I'm just trying to figure out how big a floor I need. I reckon that's going to be pretty cool. As always, it's probably not big enough, but it's a hell of a lot better than where we started. Come next time, we'll give you a run and we'll show you the honey flowing out of the other end of the plant. We'll probably have to be in the yard getting the honeys out of the boxes first and put them into frames, bring them here, warm them up, slap them through here. Woo! Hello, here comes another season. Man, doesn't your life just go blink and it's done? So if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to like, click, subscribe. Heck, tell your friends, take it to a party. Who knows? The more you share, the more we grow. The more we grow, the more we can share. It's good, isn't it? I mean, there you go. Get amongst it. Hell, maybe you could even go down to the Patreon support part and kick us a few bucks.